Hello.
What's up, girl?
What up? What up? How are you?
I'm alright. Chilling.
Same. I'm like exhausted AF.
Long day?
Yeah, I went to hang out with one of Chris's bosses. Well, not bosses directly, but like a person that's a little. You're not her subordinate. Yes, dear. But just someone he knows, a friend kind of thing. And yeah, loosely based. It's pretty much someone that I'm playing nice with so that she could play nice with him.
Yeah.
Doing that
No,
politically wifey thing.
nothing
Yeah.
with that.
But yes, fun topic today.
Oh man.
Couple-
Hey everyone. While this room, gets warmed up, I just want to say Happy New Year. I'm here with my co-host Yadira, and we're
Yes,
seven
ma'am.
days. 7 days into 2021 with optimistic hopes. I mean, there's stimulus talk, there's unbelievable protests. But let's give a warm welcome to Biden, shall we?
Yes. Let's play nice. Let's play nice, people.
How was your how was
New
your
Year.
New Year holidays?
Yeah. New Year was pretty nice. I had my babies under one roof and, we kept it low key and stuff and, very quiet. This pandemic has really changed a lot of things, so we're just keeping it low key and to our little corner home, here on base. So we're just not trying to be crazy and act a fool. Sort of like Ludacris says, I'm gonna act a fool. But I
Right. I
dealing
just want
with
to say, I'm sorry, Ali.
no, no, listen.
Real quick, because I know I have a friend listening that's new to the app. If you want to call in, or you just hold that button with the microphone. And that's how you send your message. Okay.
Yes, and we will listen with an open heart, open mind, no judgments here.
Right. So tonight's topic is an ever so misunderstood and sometimes taboo: the fet life, the kinky kinks, the fetishes, the roles, and the jargon, everything related to it. Please don't be shy. Share your stories, your questions. You know,
Yes.
do that at any point there. You want to check
Well,
that, Yadi?
okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yo! Sexiness! Hello!
What's
Hello,
up,
hello,
boo?
hello. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. We gotta start off the right way in the new year, nice and hot.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna start
Yes,
with the
so
fetish, the actual meaning.
yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Fetish, a fetish is a form of sexual desire in which gratification is linked to an abnormal degree, to a particular object, item of clothing, part of the body, etc. So that's the overall gist of it, which is why in reality they're like from A to Z there's a fetish, and then there's like thousands or even more fetishes under those letters, but there's just so many because it's a generalization of you can have a fetish to pretty much anything, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You could have it to watch, you could play, you could do all sorts of stuff, but we'll cover at least some of them, at least I could say. You know,
Yeah,
we only
yeah.
have oh so much
Because
time.
exactly. Great point. Yeah, do you want to check those?
Yes, ma'am.
Happy New Year, mommy! Happy New Year! And all these guys that like their nipples licked.
All right.
Well, not every dude, I have to say, not every dude likes that. Just saying, it's not. It's just putting
That's
it out
true.
there.
Although I don't see nothing wrong with it.
No, I don't think so either. But I just think some women don't like it. So go figure, right? It's just erogenous zones. People don't realize that we have plenty. We females have so many of those zones. I could go on and on, but I don't have my book like I used to when I used to teach this wonderful stuff when I used to sell all the toys. And I'm a former passionista and I'm a former slumber parties expert. So I used to go to your homes, bring the toys, explain it to you, and how you could use it. Fun times.
Love that. That's awesome. I think everyone should do that once in their life.
Listen, I could honestly
It
say
just
that
sounds like a fun job.
it was the best time of my life. If I could go back to doing that, I would. But with COVID, ain't nobody want me up in their house with no toys.
Yeah, with COVID, nobody wants, the opposite sex in their house with nothing.
I
It's kind
know
of
everybody wants to be virtual.
a situation. Uh,
Absolutely.
you could check some of these messages before I
Sure.
get
Okay.
started.
Yes, ma'am. Hold on.
Yo, yo, what's going on? How's everybody doing?
What's up, Punk? Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you
Fun
for
times
being here
indeed.
and participating. Appreciate you.
I know my
Yes.
ex, he used to like that shit. And then when, you hold the other side and just pinch it really tight.
It's all jokes aside, but ideally, that is a fetish. People, like to be squeezed and choked, and men, go figure, they don't like to admit it, but they probably do like it. Just saying, don't knock it until you try it, right?
I concur.
Let's see.
You
Well,
could
who
check
else?
another.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, she ain't lying because I was actually kind of shocked that that shit kind of turned me on getting my nipples licked on and stuff. So it was weird at first, but I kind of just said, all right, fuck it.
Oh, that's the thing. I think this it's a little taboo for some men, which is I don't know. Guys are just kind of closed-minded to certain things, I guess, because they might relate it to something kind of homosexual. Which, guys, if you like to get your nipples licked, so what? Ugh, there's no big deal. It doesn't make
Yeah,
you anything that you don't see yourself as.
absolutely. There's a stroke for every folk. Let me tell you, some people enjoy it, some people don't. So communication, let me tell you, let me just say that big time. Communication in any relationship, whether you any kind of taboo or fetishes they have to be put on the table and discussed. Don't just whip it out on somebody. You know what? Come play with my toes. Can you lick my toes? And you know what? I hate that shit. Don't touch my toes. I love my pedicure feet. Don't bother, please.
I'm like that too. I was never like, I'm sorry, for the people who are. I mean, go for it, but I was never definitely not a feet person. I
No, because you
mean,
know what
to
it
each
is?
his
I'm
own.
walking on the
I'm
floor.
open-minded,
Mhm.
and I don't judge anybody for their likes or whatever. That doesn't mean I have to listen to. You know what I mean? That's another thing. I
Yeah,
don't
absolutely.
anybody to be judged unless it's some, kiddie porn or stuff that
Yeah, we're not
is
talking about
unnecessary.
pedophilia. That's just
Yeah.
sick. It's not a fetish. It's not one of those things. That's not even a taboo thing. That's mental health, people. That's a mental health cry.
Yeah, but the reason a lot of people keep, well, for one, that's your private business. Your fetishes and stuff, you don't have to share with people. But a lot of people are really
Absolutely.
shy about it because of how they're judged because it's probably something somebody else will be like, "What?" You know?
Yeah, well, that's why it's called a fetish. It's pretty much something that you and your partner, or whether you like to be out in the open and want to share your story out there, it's all totally up to you. But ideally, like I said, there's a thing called voyeurism, and that's people who like to watch others, and I'm not talking about porn or anything else like that, although that is a little small faction within that, but just watching
Yeah.
another person screwing their partner or whatever, and they just get off just by watching. That's a form of voyeurism. There's breath play, as simple as that
Oh,
is. People like to get breathed on. Just breathe on me. Like it's silly, but like I said, a different stroke for every folk, and the list could go on and on. BDSM is a faction of, the whole fetish
very
play.
big.
There's
Yeah. Like a
That's probably
whole
like that could be a podcast in itself, because I'm gonna tell you that.
anorexic.
Yeah, the switch
tattoos and
roles. Yeah, well, not for nothing, these movies are bringing to light like 50 Shades. Now, 20 years ago, we were not going to have no 50 Shades of Grey on no TV, no books were out there, but it was brought to light, these fetishes out there, I have to say. It's things
you're
people
right.
talked about on the low,
You can play
you
some
know?
messages. Let's get these out.
Yes. All right.
There was a guy I used to see in like 2010, I think, and he used to want me to give him like this only foot job, wearing stockings and just jerking him off. I felt like that was the weirdest shit ever, and that was the last time I saw him because I ran.
Oh, the famous,
She ran.
yes, the
Good,
famous foot
yes,
fetish. Yeah, foot fetish.
but not as um. It's not as rare as you would think.
Yeah, it's not, the foot fetish has gotten more popular throughout the years.
Yeah,
Whether they're
right.
just wearing heels or, like I said, people sucking toes or some crazy nonsense like that. But it's really not as uncommon as, people getting whipped with a switch or golden showers or anything crazy like that, because we have the dominant and the submissive roles with the BDSM community. You have all this wonderful things. I have to say it's wonderful because you know what, there's a different stroke for every folk, and there's people who like
There's so
age
many
play.
choices. Fun. Yeah.
Yeah, age play. They like to dress up like little girls, or they want to dress up like babies, as crazy as that is, or rope bondage, fisting, orgasm control, which is always very interesting. Like, you cannot come for me until I tell you to. It's very bossy kind of thing, but hey, you know that's considered
Yes.
edgy. Yeah, trust me. I've learned a lot of these phrases during those parties, and I have to tell you, you would be so surprised of whose mouth that was coming out of, or those words, and I
Oh
had so
yeah.
much fun. Yeah, it's just so much fun. I was like, can I take notes? Because this is interesting.
And you learn a lot on the job.
Absolutely. And you know what? I would do that in a heartbeat again if I could, but like I said, COVID screwed everything over, kind of thing. But I wish I could still, reach out to my fellow passionistas and slumber
I might
party
look for
people. Yeah, go ahead, go listen.
Since you brought up the choking part, I love that shit. I love it, but not trust.
that. Brings up the joke that I hear often. Choke a bitch while you're
Yes.
arguing, you go to jail, but you choke her in bed. It's acceptable.
Yeah, that for me, that's a hard, how they say soft limits and hard limit. That's a hard limit for me. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, I
But then
don't
you
like
got your,
nothing.
your sadists and your sadomasochists. So they're
Yes,
they're they're on another level. It's kind of hard to depict which
absolutely.
one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, it's either you're the sadist who wants it, right? Because that's what a sadist is. They want the pain. And then you have the masochist that likes to inflict it. So
Right.
unless you have a perfect, yin and yang, that you like to inflict it and someone receiving it, like I said, communication is a huge thing with this topic altogether. If you're not on the same page, you might want to get there before, hey, let's just whip your ass right now and let's talk about it later.
Yeah, or like Sophia did, she ghosted the dude.
I love the choking part. I just don't trust everybody with that shit because I might die one day.
Absolutely.
You
No,
see,
that's a scary
she
truth
makes a
though, too,
point.
Yaka.
Yeah, when is when
Yeah.
is when is too much fun too much.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a limit. That's when that's when we discuss those hard limits. That's a hard limit. Like for me, no hands around my neck. That's just, I'm sorry. That's just, horrible memories for certain events in my life, and it's just not a good thing, you know. It's for me, it's just for me, it's a negative. For you, it might be a pleasurable thing, and by all means, go right ahead if that's your cup of tea. Just make sure you're safe.
Yeah, I agree.
Guy's afraid to be called the yay word for that one.
I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like it was like I never thought that I would get into like all the kinks I would get into growing up till now. So it's like now I'm looking back at all the kinks I'm discovering and doing. I'm just like, what the hell have I become? I'm a horror at this fucking point.
Be hard, baby. That's what you got to do. But just make sure you safe. That's all we ask, right?
Yeah, and do you? It's YOLO,
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, you only live once, and you have to be safe. I can't stress that so much. Like this topic, I have to stress being safe because we are in a pandemic. We are, yes, AIDS was a long time ago, but it's still there. There's a lot of STDs that can go on. I have to be that proactive person because that's just something that hits home with a lot of events in my life. And you just have to make sure that everyone's on the same page because something could be so easily misconstrued. I'm like, hey, hon, how about can I choke you tonight? And be like, all right, deuces, I'm leaving. I can't deal with this today. Like, we have to make sure, like, hey, we're all on the same page. And I can't stress that enough because fetishes, as wonderful as it is behind closed doors. It might be considered taboo. But if you're not putting it out there on Front Street, you don't want to find out about that kind of stuff later on. And, you could lose a partner and your partner did not communicate with that particular portion with you.
She's right. Definitely.
So, yeah, fun topic. Fun. But sex is not.
Yeah, the choking part I kind of agree on because it was like it's like this one girl like literally tried to choke the hell out of me, but when she was choking me, I kind of felt like my whole entire throat move, and I'm like, wait, whoa, hold the fuck up, wait, you done shifting my shit to the left. I need you to calm down with that shit just a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, like you gotta
You
slow down, honey. We can't be. I gotta breathe tomorrow. A girl got an asthma condition. You can't be choking me out.
I was just visualizing him as as he was saying it. Oh boy.
For me, there's a limit. Like, people can choke, you know, with a hard grip, and some can do soft grip. I don't know. He got to come from behind me with that soft grip. Forget about it. My panties drop from there. Forget it.
All right, girl.
Every
Do
male
you? Do
listener
you?
is alert right now.
We're like, wait, what? No, but let's talk about those weird there's some people who like to be humiliated. That's an erotic play also. Like they like to be, put down and I'm not with that, but like I said, to each their own. But
Yeah.
that's a
Seems a little
that's a
excessive.
yes, that whole submissive and kind of thing. But this is more of a erotic. It's called erotic humiliation. It's like when the submissive
Yeah.
they feel degraded, like being called slut, or almost like they like being forced into something like that. And it's that humiliation part that I'm not with. But that is one of those, like I said, there's some kinks out there that people don't really have put out there in the forefront street, but it's out there.
Yeah, like feces. That's one
Oh,
thing I can never
yeah.
ever get down with. And
No, sorry. No golden
the actual
showers,
word
no
for it is
scat
called
play. Mm-mm.
philia. A
Oof.
coprophiliac has a sexual fetish when they come into contact with feces.
Ugh, boy, I feel like I'm on a Howard Stern show because that's
And
something that they used to talk about. Like it, no, seriously, like that was something that was mentioned besides like a foot play kind of
Howard
thing.
is the man. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, but the one I find it interesting one is the orgasm control. That's also a BDSM also kind of thing. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
all right, you have to hold on to it as much as you can, and then let it go. Like when you get permission to. Like, I'm sorry. There's some things that's a hard limit for me. You can't tell
Yeah.
me when I cannot, when I can and cannot do. But I have to say that one of my wonderful parties, I could honestly say that a woman was very into that, and she wanted to have something that prolonged her orgasm.
Yeah.
And they do sell products out there that make it last a whole lot longer.
Oh, and the toy market now compared to yesteryear, I don't think that
Well,
this they have like a market for everything.
absolutely. They have when 50 Shades came out, the market just blew up with the ropes and the ties and all that
Oh yeah,
wonderful stuff. The rope
everybody
bondage. I forgot what's that name. What's that name called? Oh, shibari. That's
running to the
yeah, that's
store to be like,
the knots and the patterns, and that was a very big thing at one point, and it's a specific rope. It's not that rope that you get to tie up your Christmas tree, on top of the roof
yeah,
or something. It's not twine. It's like actual specific bondage rope, sort of like also the tape. It's a specific tape. It's easily broken. You could easily break from it. There's nothing
yeah,
like it's a long way from that getting that over the counter 99 cents, double-sided tape that, oh my God, if I had
yeah,
any pelitos, they'd be gone.
guys. If you want to know anything and everything, you hit Yadi up. She will educate you on what you need to know.
Absolutely. I'm your Spanish Boricua version of Dr. Ruth. Yes. But let me tell you something. I used to watch that little old lady. She knew her stuff. You know what? She had a bag of tricks
Oh
herself.
yeah.
She died happy. I don't know if she's, well, God rest her soul, if she is. There isn't. But that woman, she knew her things. That, and if
You bringing
anyone
that up, and
remembers,
it brings me to my ex that I had. I used to fucking OD on him on the streets and call him all types of dirty and broke and all that, and he loved that shit. But I didn't like him, so I couldn't give him no punani anyways.
Yo, he's been with all the freaks.
for real, being like that, that's
Thank
a
you for
bag in
being
his
here.
day.
Share a lot of stories. Oh my God, love it.
Yeah,
And you see
absolutely.
his pinga dancing, and I'm like, no, 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 sácalo para allá, para la basura. Eso va. That's where it goes, basura.
Yeah,
She like,
sorry,
I
Yadi.
ain't
I
messing
don't.
with that. It's fine. But ideally, like I said, there's a stroke for every folk, and that's why they have the Craig's, on Craigslist, that back page. It's called back page, where the freaky dick is used to lie. Even having prostitutes is a fetish in itself. Odd as that is, like they like to pay for it.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's a stroke for every folks. Never had that issue, thank God. But like I said, when I did my toy parties and all that stuff, the women that used to come out of left field with certain things like, oh, I like being tied up, or I like ice play. I like to play with ice. I like ice on my nipples, or just ice in general. I like feeling a little numb and all this crazy nonsense. You would hear it from people that you would never think. Just think about it. The next time you go on the subway, just take a look at some people. Be like, what do you do behind closed doors?
Uh, it'll
The
be the ones you never suspect of anything that have the
absolute,
weirdest. And you know
the
what?
one.
I think I think that even though we're in a much more progressive society as far as how
Yeah,
women behave when it comes to sex, I still think that they're still very reserved when it comes to exploring themselves and their bodies and porn. I think
Yeah.
that should be more exercise because I mean, if you don't know yourself that well in and out, you can't expect
Hmm.
somebody else to ever learn.
Absolutely. You have to, sometimes you got to teach the teacher, so to speak. Can't just automatically assume that they're going to want to know what you like, what you don't like. How they're going to know if you don't tell them?
Yeah, also you might not know what you like. You need to explore things for yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not saying to open up book of Kama Sutra and trying to find out everything that you like or don't like. What I'm saying is try something new. See if you like it. If you don't, just straight up say, "Nah, this is not for me." And it's just that simple. It's called open communication, and that's something that I can't stress enough, enough.
Yeah.
Because miscommunication could lead to not only just hey, he's here today, gone tomorrow, but shit, if she doesn't like this, then she's gonna move on to the next, or vice versa.
Yeah,
So I'll
for
play
sure.
this one. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I got into like the whole BDSM thing, I was not supposed to do it, and then I turned around and got into bondage, then got into rope play, and then got into being a dom, dominant male. Then I'm just like, then I just kind of paused, like, and I kind of paused in one of my sessions with one of these girls, and I'm like, wait, how the fuck did I get this far? Like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, I was just at the house playing games. How did we end up like this?
Where did we
I
get
like
here?
him. He's funny.
Mm-hmm.
That the best things happen like that though, just completely spontaneous. You playing the game and then the next minute you got something in your mouth that wasn't there a few minutes ago. But that's how that's how you explore and have fun.
Oh, pun
I
intended. We
feel you
just
though.
woke up one day, like, hey, I just rolled up, there's something in my mouth. Like, but absolutely, like I said, there's different things, and then you just have to really, I can't stress the communication part about it because you don't want to just unload, hey, I'm into this, that, and the third, and the first date. Just saying, it could be a big turn off.
I have I took a poll for some people on the fetish stories for them to
Okay.
allow me to share tonight. So I'm gonna share a few. I'm actually hitting you on Messenger, Yadi.
Okay, hold on. Oh, okay.
Oh, so you
I
could
got
play a
you.
message before I start.
Yes, ma'am. Hold on.
And then I started having submissives and everything, but the last submissive I just had, I had to cut her off because she was still fucking around with her baby daddy who gave her ass gonorrhea, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you cut from the team. You are cut from the whole motherfucking. You just cut from the team. I'm sorry. There ain't no if buts when you that fucked up, and she's like completely mad about that. I'm like, bro, I don't care if gonorrhea can be cured. You caught it. I don't want you. I do not want
Mm,
you whatsoever motherfucking ever.
Yeah,
mm,
because kind of lost your trust there, and I would feel
yeah,
the same way. Just all right, you just kind of like you just threw a whole red X over yourself. You like you're tainted. So I feel you
that's
totally.
right. Be like, fun is over. Sorry, I'm not catching this. Hold on, I'll play the next one.
And then it also got weird when I started liking when the female is like more dominant because it's like I don't know, it's like a challenge to me. Like, okay, you trying to out dom the fuck out of me? No, motherfucker, hold on. This better get fun with like a motherfucker. We gotta do this right now. But it's like the females that's like shy and everything, that's like soft and everything. I mean, they're okay. It was just like I was more into like the whole dominant, badass female types. Like yeah, like those are my those are my women. And then the other last female I had, she was so goddamn dominant on me that she actually left a couple of bruises on me, and I'm just like, I'm black as spades, but yet you was able to leave marks on me. I like that.
You know what? You sound like what the BDSM community would label as switch, meaning you're into
Yeah.
being dominated and you also dominate. So that's cool, man.
Yeah, just tell her to go a little bit easy.
What was I gonna
You
say?
don't want the blackest spade to be black and blue.
All right, I'm gonna
All
share.
right.
I'm gonna share this short one before we play that message.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so this is from Carrie. I dated a dude for a while who was really into getting slapped in the balls. Like he loved it. I was happy to oblige, but it was strange because it went against all my instincts and my entire sex life up until that point, which had taught me not to smack people in the nuts.
Ow. Those are
Yeah, that,
sensitive.
that will fall into that I want to feel pain category, right?
Yes, it would. And let me tell you that I'm sure I'm not a dude, but from what I hear, you kick them hard enough, they're seeing stars for a couple of hours.
Oh yeah. Sometimes just a tap. They're really
Yeah.
sensitive, so the guys that do like that type of pain, I don't know how you endure it. I've heard horror stories.
Listen, they must have some MS that they don't feel that pain because Lord knows I don't feel no pain, so I could only imagine that kind of stuff.
But you could play that message, Jolly.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I found a weird turn off for me? Well, not even weird. I don't like when anybody touch my booty hole. I feel like that shit is gay.
I'm laughing because she really said that's gay and she's a female. But again, to each his own. I mean, there's plenty of women who love everything going in there, and then you have the ones
Yeah.
that be like, no, that's an exit only, and that's it, and that's fine as well.
Yeah, but people don't realize also this is
That's all
not
I gotta say
personal.
about that.
Yeah, well, people also say that that's the most androgynous zone, erogenous zone. I don't know the word for it, but it's a very the most sensitive spot, one of the sensitive spots besides for a female, for a clitoris or anything else that down there. That would be a very super sensitive area. You just don't realize it. But again, to each his own. Not everyone wants that area even looked at, touched, or even played with.
Or even eight.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, absolutely, absolutely.
All right. This one is from Dorothy. I hooked up with this very sweet guy, but after some pretty alright sex, he started talking about how he once had to have a catheter in. You know that thing they put in, when
Yes.
you are in the
Mm-hmm.
hospital, you have to pee, for those who don't know. And how sexy that was and how much he liked it. And then asked me if I knew what sounding was. And then pulled out a little case of sounding rods and a giant bottle of lube and asked me if I wanted to do it to him or just watch. Now, I have to say, first of all, normally men don't like the catheter. They say it's
No,
painful. So this also falls into that category.
no, and
So my wife
absolutely.
says, sorry.
No, no. As far as a catheter is concerned, I only being coming from the medical field, that is not a pleasant thing. So that would be considered, yes, definitely a serious fetish, and also sounds kind of painful for a dude.
Oh
Just saying.
yeah. Sounds
Like,
so she said that she watched. She
Oh,
said
she
it
watched.
was not at all arousing, but it was legitimately fascinating to see how it works. And he seemed to really enjoy it. But that was the last time we hooked up because the idea of sticking a metal rod up a man's penis made my genitals worried. So she ghosted him too.
Wow. So she was just like, I'll stick around for the show, but I'm not here for an encore.
And I have to say that the people that this happens to because they have weird fetishes, I feel for
Hmm.
you, man, but not not everybody's gonna accept your and you should keep looking until you find that person who is able to.
Yeah.
You you could play that.
Yes.
Oh hell no! That shit sounds painful. A metal rod? No.
We didn't say
Thank
it
you,
was a walk in the park.
Bobby. He's a
It
trip.
doesn't tickle. Mm-mm. It doesn't tickle. Like I said, I've heard stories about different strokes for different folks, of course. But yeah, like the nurse, the doctor. Yeah, I like those fun fetishes. How about just getting dressed up? How about, just playing the role? Because that's also a different type of fetish, just costume play, cosplay kind of thing, and just bringing that to the bedroom. Like, yeah, being a sexy nurse for what's your ailment? Let me help you feel better.
Yeah.
Those are the fun ones. What happened to those? But,
Oh yeah.
as
The role
years go
plays.
by and as things become more, I guess, more mainstream and more out there, and now with COVID and everyone home, they're trying new things, and new things are coming up, that's for sure. You got all that time, you ain't working, and you know what? You can only watch Netflix for so long. Hey, let's try something new. But
Oh,
please communicate.
go. You could play that.
All
I love getting dressed up. I got many different outfits, but nobody to fuck with. And then when I get comfortable enough, the motherfuckers always do something stupid. Y lo dejo en la maldito suitcase.
right. I hear that, girl.
Oh man, the love
Got a whole
game.
supply. Yes.
At least you got it. It's gonna come in handy one day.
Yeah. You're always prepared. Whether you're gonna be that sexy nurse or that little naughty cheerleader. Go ahead, girl.
You can take more messages.
All right.
I mean, I do cosplay. I mean, I do got the mask and the fucking outfits for it. Just that people don't. Just that. Well, I haven't found the right woman to do it with. So, yeah.
Oh, keep going.
Oh, that's me or you? Okay.
A mí me gustaba la pinga en el culito, pero ya, mana. Everybody is too nasty for me.
Sometimes
Nice.
your taste changes as you get older too.
That is true. And also, let me tell you something about anal play or anything anal. You have to be comfortable with the person you're with. It's not to go, hey, go willingly, let's go through the back door. And it's not, if it's not with the right person, it could be very painful and could just turn you off completely.
Yeah,
That's why I used to sell that lube, girl. That lube,
exactly.
son.
Lube is life. Let me just tell you.
Lube is life. And then you know what? They had that they used to call anal ease of all things and used to numb the area so you wouldn't feel nada.
But you wanna feel something. What?
Well, no, it wouldn't be completely to the point like Novocaine for your
No, but yeah,
teeth,
I was
you
gonna.
know, it's, no, it would just be a light numbing to the point that it would make you feel a lot more comfortable than, normal kind of thing. But let me play this next message.
I think it's too late to come in handy. I'm a little fluffy now. So all of that shit, I'll put it on and I'll look like the She-Hulk.
You probably like it more now.
Yeah. Listen, doesn't matter. I'll be that chubby cheerleader. I'll be your chubby nurse. I'm all good. He likes a little bit of meat on his bones. Or I'll play the next one.
Yo, me and that guy should play Batman and Robin.
Uh-oh, Punk City. You got a
Oh, shit.
challenge. You got a challenge. She wants to do the cosplay with you.
Hey,
You could keep
no
on
better time.
rolling.
You got the mask on. You're protected.
Yeah, ain't no. You need preparation for that. You need time preparation. Like you said, it can be painful. Because I tell women all the time who wants me to like do anal to them. I just go like, okay, find a dildo that's an inch bigger, bigger than mine, and practice with that first before anything because I don't want to hurt you.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Ease her into it. That's the best way to do it.
You sound like you have a very healthy sex life. It's great.
Now play the next one.
It won't fit at all. I've tried. And I feel like I'm suffocating in those shits.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing no cosplay or no, no, I won't mind putting on the costume. Shit. To tell her slide in the DMs.
Are we matchmaking right now?
Holla at each other. If you guys hook up, I want to hear the story.
Yeah, we just won't put it on blast on the podcast. Just say.
That'll be up to her.
That's right. Batman and Robin. Look at this. Not even. It would be what is it? Supergirl or I don't even know what you do. Kind of thing. You want to play that or shall I?
Oh, go for it. My screen is still.
All right.
He could play Batman and I'll be Alfrina.
Sounds like you guys are gonna have fun.
Hey, you heard it here first. No, but like I said, as long as you're comfortable with the person, there's a lot of fun to be had, and it's not a bad thing. And like I said, I stress the open communication because, in all honesty, just like any relationship, that's what you need. And especially when you're tapping into certain things like this, fetishes or deep down desires or it's sucks to find out after the fact you've been with a person for so long and then all of a sudden they've always wanted to do this and you cannot provide that for them. So then you're kind of left with your hands tied and you're going to have a partner that's not happy. So before any relationship, before anything or going into one or into any sexual relationship, because whether you're in a committed or non-committal, please do have these kind of conversations. People need to make this more normal talk. Like,
Yeah,
hey, let's go to Barnes and Nobles and have some coffee and let's talk about what we like and what we don't like. As silly as that sounds. Or hey, let's go for a drive and let's talk about this. Or even in the DMs, I like this. I don't like that. That's not for me. Deuces later.
when people, get so used to the norm or they're not comfortable speaking to each other about it. So, they just stay unsatisfied. You guys, I encourage communication on that subject. Could change your life.
Yeah, and especially when we're talking about the kinks, the fetishes, the taboos, the things that you really don't feel comfortable talking about. We're not talking to our parents, people. We're talking to our partners. So let's all remember that. There's
The
some
perfect
things
way
I
to
would
say
never, yeah, talk to your parents about, but with your significant other, female, male, whatever letter in the alphabet you fall under. Please just have that open communication, because you know what? This world could be such a better place if we were all sexually satisfied and happy.
Right, because let's be honest, that sexual activity, it's good for you. It's good
Yeah.
for your serotonin levels and your stress levels. And honestly, if your partner can't understand, or you're unable to convey, what you want, or then they're not for you either. There's ways of
Absolutely.
compromising as well, but you shouldn't,
Yes.
if they really care about you, they'll understand and try to work with you.
Yes. Versus just cutting you off completely. You just never know until you ask or have that conversation. And sometimes it's hard. It also depends on how we grew up. Some things were never talked about. And we have to break that stigma, that we have to be more open with, whether it be our family or just definitely our significant others, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are making you feel this way, this sexual peak that you need, this release, so to speak, that you need. So if you don't tell them what you don't like or do like, then how are you gonna know? Speak up, people. Let's go.
Oh, could be a great example. This one is from Tommy. I told my girlfriend that I'm into cross-dressing in the bedroom. She cried for hours and asked if I wanted to cut my dick off.
Mm,
There's a tough one that to deal with. That one's not easy. That's the perfect example of a true uneasy fetish to divulge. So I would say, in that you said it's a bedroom thing, she could compromise with you and be like, hey, you can do that. I don't want to be a part of it, but you can do that, and I'll give you your time with the porn in the room by yourself. There's always some way, you know.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And that there's always a will, there's always a way. It's just if you cherish your partner, or you really want to be in a relationship with your partner, whoever it may be. I think if you do not communicate what the wants and needs that you need to feel fulfilled, so that you're not one looking at others, or pretty much going to the next person, or sneaking around, or that kind of, that kind of situation that gets nasty, then if you can't open the door now, when are you going to? When it's too late?
Facts.
I'm You gotta divulge that beginning, not 15 years later or 16 years later, 5 kids down the line, and then, oh yeah, you know
Yeah,
what? I
you're all
really
fed up
want
and
this.
you're like this divorce and all this. It turns
Yeah,
it turns into like a pile of shit.
absolutely. Lord knows. But I'll play this. Hold on.
Well, I have a really weird fetish, and I don't know, it's kind of really weird, but it's one of my fetishes, and would you ladies like that? I would love to know what you think or what you would do in this situation.
You have a safe passage here, so you're not gonna be judged or attacked. So you can share if you'd like to.
Yeah, no judgment here.
Yeah, communication is key and everything. Cause I like. There's been multiple times where females keep asking me even before we even do anything, and they'll just go, "Why do you always ask all these questions?" I'm like, "Cause if I pull out and I nut on you and you get mad, you are not allowed to get mad at me. You are not allowed to get mad at me. Cause how the fuck was I supposed to know that you didn't want to get freaking nutted on? Or how was I supposed to know that how was I supposed to know that you didn't want me to choke you, slap you, pull your hair, bite you, leave marks, I need to know these things beforehand, because Motherfucker, this not a motherfucking test. I already graduated high school and college. I don't want no more tests or freaking quiz. I'm good.
I mean, like, we need a
Yo,
questionnaire.
the way he tells his stories is hilarious. I just want to say, Punk City. That's why communication is important, not just in,
Absolutely.
you know, in all areas of your relationship with someone, especially sexually. Because if you don't know these things and you're doing them, it's like it's not. It's gonna have an adverse effect, which is the opposite of pleasure. And yeah, you gotta ask these things. You can't just do them. Not every chick or every guy is down for the same thing. Everybody got their own thing, so this should definitely, if you especially, all right, I know in certain instances when you're just hooking up with somebody, you may not sit down and be like, hey, you like this, that, or third. You just go right into it, but this is why it's important,
Yeah, plus you're
right?
not whipping all this stuff out on the first date, right? Or the first evening that y'all together. You're not gonna whip out all, you don't have to leave some tricks in the pocket, like you don't whip out everything on that first time.
Yeah.
Uh, no, seriously, you're not gonna have someone
No,
bent
I
over and
agree.
shove this up your ass. Like, yeah, no, we you have to have, like, doing the, of course the first encounter is just the first encounter, however it may happen or whatever happens. But you can't tell me that you can't have, like, I'm not asking for an application. You're not gonna ask them, hey, can you tell me what your dislikes, not likes? We're not filling out a eHarmony survey. But what I'm saying is, after that, whether if it happened already or didn't happen, and if you want to introduce certain things to your partner, you really do have to sit down and talk to them. Can't whip that out in the first date. Can't whip that out in the second. But if you feel comfortable enough to have this conversation with your partner, then that's what makes it all better. But if you cannot have that conversation with your partner and you feel that they're just not with it, and that's something you really, 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 really want to do, then maybe it's something that you need to evaluate your partner on. Like, if I can't be real with you and I can't talk to you about it, then what's the point?
And let me say, ladies and gentlemen, and mostly for the gentlemen, that doesn't mean you say hello to some chick and be like, "What's up? I think you're beautiful," and then be like, "What do you like in the bedroom?" That's a little too quick. I hate when people do that. It's a turn off. I mean, I guess
No,
that's my personal opinion, but that doesn't
no,
mean
I
once we
agree.
date,
No,
let's talk about sex.
not on the first date. Jesus. But you know what I mean, right? It's just more like you're getting
No,
to
I'm
know a
not saying to you.
person. Yeah.
I just thought of
No,
it
no.
while you were saying that because I know what happens.
Yeah, it does. And people just automatically assume, and that's why they say, you make a ass out of yourself if you just assume things. But it's a conversation to be had. It's something that, let's make conversation and sex talk a norm. Like, if I'm dating someone, not on the first date obviously, because then that's kind of a turn off, but eventually that's what you want to talk about. And it's something that, if you know it's going there, I would want to satisfy this person as much as possible, wouldn't you? Or vice versa, you want them to satisfy you. How they gonna know? I'm not
Yeah.
a mind reader.
All right, I got one from
Yeah.
Ernesto. Ernesto says, my fiance likes being choked slightly. One of the first times she told me to do this, we were having crazy rough sex, and I ended up making her pass out. Once her eyes were closed, I stopped choking her, obviously, and wasn't sure if she actually passed out or if she was playing a joke. So I kept going. Once
Oh,
she
Jesus.
opened her eyes, a few seconds later, she was back in the game, so to speak, and I didn't ask any questions, but I felt bad and couldn't finish, and I really haven't choked her since. I just want to say you don't have to press to the point of restricting blood flow or even oxygen flow for the recipient to pass out. There are baroreceptors, little blood pressure monitors, in the cardiac artery that when massage can lead to, those episodes. So you don't want to put too much pressure, Ernesto. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. No, but
That must have
whatever.
been scary. I'm just Imagine.
Can you be like, did she just pass out, or am I gonna have to call the cops? How am I gonna explain this? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I imagine somewhere in the world this might have happened for real. Like a couple of people been taken out by this type of thing.
well, yeah, that's what makes it so scary. Like I said, that's a hard limit for me. Like, hell no, my throat and choking is just totally off the table. And that's why you just, like I said, you have to communicate on what you find it acceptable, what you're willing to take, and what you can't take. And then you know what? There's a thing called threshold, a pain threshold. Some people have a higher tolerance for pain versus there's people who are they get slapped and be like, oh, I can't, it hurts. That's what I'm saying. Like you have to really no,
Everybody's
it's
pain
true.
receptors are different. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like I said, I take a lot of pain as far I have MS. My pain receptors are off the chart, and I can't
Yeah.
feel pain like the normal person. Like that's why I got burnt the other day, and I didn't realize I was even getting burnt. Like that's how scary it is. But
Oh my gosh.
it could be, yeah, it's a scary thing. But like I said, you have to communicate with, whether it's the person you're dating or your partner or you're interested or your slide, whatever it is. It's more of something that you really have to communicate. And I can't stress that word communicate. It's a bit with a capital C. But like I said, with a lot of capital C's, you have to talk that through.
Yeah, for sure. You guys, if you have anything else to say, we're gonna close this down soon. I want to thank you guys for being here and listening and participating. Um,
Yes, that's fun.
Punk City and Sophia, let me know what the hookup is gonna,
Yeah, we'll
turn
have
out.
another podcast of how the dating life is. Girl, no, because the girl knows this one don't know no
So,
dating life.
just so you
That's
got so
been
far,
done.
she doesn't like anything on the rear region and no feet stuff. Make sure you took everything down, Punk City.
Take those notes. All
Go ahead, play it.
right.
Yeah, the whole choking part. Yeah, I try to play it safe with the choking because I don't know exactly how well my partner will handle it since I got big ass hands and I used to be a mixed martial artist. So you know, me trying to choke a person, it's like okay, I'll go light, I'll go medium, but then if she really tells me to choke like
Punk City, you a wrestling fan like me? Choreograph it. Just, check out how you could do those, choke holds without actually choking a bitch out.
Yeah, we don't want to catch a case. We don't. Hold on.
like if she tells me to choke the shit out of her, then automatically I'm like, oh, okay, then so you are ready for this shit. Okay, bet. Like I never had a girl pass out on me, but I had a girl like kind of smack my hand out the way, toss me down, and started riding me, and then start choking me even more. And I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa. I like the way this is going, but shit, give a brother a fair warning next time.
Oh, he be having fun.
Yeah, that is a novella.
Oh man.
I'm just saying, it's like HBO After Dark.
Fetish lives matter.
Yes, they do.
Guys, it's been real. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube tomorrow for those that missed. And gonna let you guys go now. Thank you. Yadi,
Yes,
thank
have
you
a
for
good
being
night.
here.
Yes, thank you for having me, and everyone have a good night,
May the
even if
force
it's
be
a
with
fun one.
you. My screen is still frozen. You ended.
All right.
Oh no, I forgot about YouTube.
Good night.
Good night.